Friday Flow is back. We're having some technical issues, but today is the topic is how to make a living as artist in 2022. And my guest today on this episode number 25 is Sandra Zebi. Fabio, thank you so much. Thank you for your patience, you guys. Can you guys hear me well? We're having some technical issues, but we're going to get through this. Let me see if I can have Sandra back, not back, but join us. So yeah, we're going to talk about how to make a living as artist. Sandra Zebi is a professional artist. She has 30 years of experience as a professional artist in Los Angeles. Her art studio and gallery is located in Marina del Rey. So if you live close by, make sure to look her up because her work is very inspiring. She works with ceramics and classic art. She does amazing art installations and her work has been exposed all over the world. And she's also from São Paulo. So we do have that in common because I'm from São Paulo too. And she lived in London for a few years and then she traveled the world before she moved to Los Angeles in 1986. Ever since Sandra Zebi design was created, and ever since she's been living with that, and she's very successful, an incredible soul, and I'm sure that she is trying to figure out right now what is happening there. So thanks for your patience. If you do have any questions related to this topic, please, you can send me. You're gonna be able to do it. Yes, okay. I think I can hear you. Yes.
I can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Thank
you. Thank you so much, Sandra, for being
I'm
here.
Sorry about that.
No, don't be sorry. We have all amazing people just waiting for you. Everybody's been so patient. So thank you so much. It's such an honor to have you. Such an honor to have you on Friday Flow number 25. How are you today?
Oh, I'm excellent. Now that I finally connected with all of you, thank you.
No, this is what happened when we do things live. We never know, but the thing is, we all kept calm, and now it's all working out. Thank you, Leticia.
Yeah.
Somehow. Thank you, Leticia.
Thank you,
Leticia. Okay, say it again.
Well, somehow I was, I couldn't get on my computer.
So you okay? I see. Yeah, you can go live on the computer. It needs to be through the phone, I think.
Oh, I have done with the computer, but it doesn't matter.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Friday Flow number 25. We are going to talk about how to make a living as artists in 2022. I encourage all of you who are watching us to send this live and share this live to a friend who you think will enjoy this conversation. We're going to give you practical steps of how to make a living as artists. We're also going to talk about this 30 years of experience as being a professional artist in Los Angeles that I'm sure you cannot wait to hear. Sandra, let's start.
Let's do it.
Let's start with the foundation, okay? So I know that you lived in London and then you traveled the world a little bit and then you make a move in Los Angeles in 1986. That's when your company, Sandra Zebi Designs, started. Let's start from there. How you came about, what was your decision to move to the Los Angeles and to actually pursue the art career?
So actually it was not an accident, but when I was traveling from London, I bought a ticket that was 9 stops in 1 year open. So the last stop was LA. And I was be here for just two weeks or so, but then I fell in love with LA and I stayed here for 7 months, went back to Brazil and came back in 86. And since then, it's a love story. I love this city. It's in my heart, like São Paulo, LA. You know, it's my favorite cities. Is where, and LA is the place where I turned to be an adult. Was my adult life, and where my art career took off. So I'm very grateful. This city treat me well. And
I can I cannot even imagine how was the art world in 30 years from now. Can you share how was the very early stages of your career or pursuing artist as as a professional, as you're making a living as artist 30 years ago?
it wasn't easy. It's never easy. It was, we didn't have the technology like we have today. And of course, we make a lot of mistakes, and it was very hard to find my niche. I didn't find in the first year. But, one of the things that I like about USA, LA, is that it's a lot of opportunities if you're if you're open to. And,
Mm-hmm.
and in here, people, they appreciate art and they invest in art, as you know. It was easier than if I was in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's a big city, so you're exposed to a lot of people and a lot of foreigners, a lot of people that appreciate Brazilian art and foreigners art. So it was easier than if I was starting somewhere else for me. But it's always about energy, and I think that
Mm-hmm.
the play here it went well. It was a good combination, me and LA, and of course all the people that they appreciate my work and they support me. I have a lot of collectors that they buy my work for 30 years. So
Wow.
yeah, and it's not easy, but it's possible. That's how it is. Like you. I remember when you started, at least when you started in LA, and was like you took off and you found your style. Me and the Brazilian community, the artists, we are very proud of you too. So
Thank you.
it's a journey, and you know, it's just when you try and when you live, when you put your energy and when you believe that these things happen. And when I start believing more in me, that was getting easier and easier. But it's always hard. That's the beauty. If it was easy breeze, we wouldn't even be talking because
So true.
change. That's
I
what keeps.
think is that through the struggles that we can find like our best. Do you agree?
I agree, and it's not a shortcut. It's
Yeah.
so, and every day, every show, every exhibit is a new experience. And what I love the most besides my art is the people. All of you
Yeah.
that are watching and all the people that they support me all this time. You guys give me the gas, give me the energy, like through you, I create and I continue this journey.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that is so so beautiful said because the connections that we can create through our collectors and supporters, this is what drive us. I remember like through the day I started painting with like no reason, just because of the sake of painting. And then when I start finding those people who are attracted to my work, I got so interested in them, and that was the entire that was the entire shift that happened in my mind of like be in service of those people, right?
exactly. Yeah, now sometimes, some people they go like, "Oh, it's so easy to work for yourself." I said, "Actually, I don't work for my, you don't have a boss." I said, "I don't have one boss. I have all of you." Because if people that appreciate your work, they don't exist, or they don't give compliments, and I am also open to criticism. A lot of gallery owners, they gave me a few tips when in my beginning, and it was wonderful. Sometimes it's hard to take, but then once you look back, you go like, thank you. If you didn't, you know, give me that tip or a comment, or it was all for the, for my, was all for my own benefit. And of course, for the benefit of the people that they love my work. And yeah, and then I think that's we work for a lot of people. That's how I see it.
I love that. This is
And
such an important topic that you just tuned in. So find these people that are attracted to your work since the very beginning and listen to what they have to say. Then just of listening, you can learn so much and you can adjust your work. Not, of course, you're not gonna change completely, but like accept the criticism and listen to what those people have to say that will just keep you going and just give you courage to keep going the direction that you want to be aligned with also what they want to have.
exactly, once you find that union between you and your people, what you like, but according to what they like too, then it's like a good match.
Nobody can stop it.
Nobody, it's no divorce, it's no fight. Like it's so the ride is much easier. But
Yeah.
it's always, but we are always looking for the next, and it's always new people that start liking your work, and it is. I mean, if I look back, I maybe will do everything again, with all the struggles, and because the ride is a lot of bumps, but it's good. But it's at the end, so good,
I
and
love that. I
and
love that. So tell me a little bit. You start with the ceramic. That was like your base of Zebi designs, right? And then you went on and to create this beautiful, huge sculptures. I know you graduated in design and art in design. And tell me a little bit of how that you start creating different medias, and tell me a little bit of this journey of your multimedia talents.
so actually, I know I studied industrial design in São Paulo, Mackenzie, and when you through my university, I learned different medias like photography, textile, ceramics, sculpture, and then my mom was an accountant, and she was exchanging her accounting skills with a sculpture. And then I had some classes of very traditional sculpture with clay, very raw, like different than here. The clay was they got from the river. Didn't know
Brazilian clay.
Brazilian, and I'm like, and it stinks. That was a true love, because I remember the smell wasn't that great, wasn't what inspiring, it is. But what was, I got the love for the clay and for the touching and the three-dimensional. And then when I traveled to London, I took some classes with art, and I never stopped studying art. Like one class here, one class there. When I came to LA, I took fashion design at UCLA, where it gave me a lot of good skills for the girls that I draw. Like mostly women. And then I worked for someone that she's a potter. She's from Ireland, and I learned that some of the technique of ceramics, because she does high fire is different from what I do. But what I like it about the clay, also about the functional ceramics that I do, is that I can apply my designs on a functional object. So
Mm-hmm.
as much as I love the touch of the clay, I like to draw and paint and illustration. And I was taking also a graphic design at Santa Monica College. And then I was like, wow, you know, where could I put my designs? Then, bling, bling, you know, all this. And then, you know, and then I start, in the beginning wasn't as good as, you know, you get because it's practice. And
Mm-hmm.
quite a few rejections until I found my niche. But then after that was a love story because I like the touch of the clay, but at the same time, you know, I like acrylic and Photoshop, you know, Illustrator. They were the last classes that I took. It's my way to show my ideas, to show my love to the creation, you know, like to share my love for the arts. It's easier with the functional. But then I also, the last year, you know, 2020, I was doing a lot of sculptures, you know, like heads and more towards fine arts. So it's the combination of painting and making three-dimensional. That's pretty much what this multimedia. It's putting together this, you know, the painting with the three-dimensional.
I love that. I love that. So I think that that's another lesson to everybody who are in the arts right now, to never stop studying and
Mm,
experimenting and keep it just experiencing, and like know that you're gonna fail at the very beginning and you're gonna suck, but never stop trying for the love of the
exactly.
making.
That's what, if you really, really, really love what you do, it flows. So at some point, if it doesn't, then give up, you know? No,
Or change the subject, change the
just go for
media.
just go for the dancing, you know, like just a little tap dance, forget about the brushes, you know. No, it always happened for the best.
Oh, your song cut again.
I just saw one comment here from Flavio. I spoke with him today, and we were talking about NFTs. We were talking about you, Drica. So
Yes.
next, you know, like I mean, we have to follow the flow. We cannot go again.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Mm-hmm.
NFTs is right here. And
And that, and I love that. Another thing that I love you so much, Sandra, it's the way that you navigate the art world. I mean, you've been doing this for 30 years, and you're definitely one of the person that are not afraid to try and to go with whatever that is happening in the art world. Can you say something about that? Because like a lot of us, we tend to get stuck in a period of time, or we just have this idea in our mind that we almost like resist of what is new and what is coming. So what do you have to say about that, you being so in front of everything and everything that come up on the artwork that is new, that you want to experience and you want to incorporate it in your art?
well, I'm very curious, like most of the artists.
Mm-hmm.
Curiosity it helps, and also
Mm-hmm.
you have to be brave. If you are afraid, you're not gonna get anywhere, no matter what you do. So since the beginning, so many changes. You know, I used to do a lot of street festivals, and which I love it because, and I still do feel, because you meet the people, and I'm like you, Drika. We are social bugs. You know, we like to talk, like to blah, blah, and I love you, and I love everyone, and everybody loves me. And this will never, it's not gonna end in my world. But then I started with Photoshop. You know, when I noticed that starting the year 2000s, you know, people they were asking about emails, and you know, everybody was going more virtual, and,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt a little bit like a dinosaur if I didn't follow follow the flow. So I took a class, and in the beginning I suck badly, but thanks to my instructor, she failed me on purpose, and then I did it again and beat up all those young people that they knew a lot of technology, but their creativity was a little bit lower level than mine. So, uh, and then I practice. That's the other thing. Whatever, especially in the arts, and you have to practice. You have to try. Like sometimes when I am in a show, someone asks me, "Wow, I don't know how $30, $50 for one cup. How long it takes for you to paint that, to make that?" I always say, "Oh, it takes me about maybe 15 minutes and 30 years." That's what, like it's
Yeah,
like that persistency, and then keep on, keep up with what's going on. Creative people, we have to keep up. Otherwise, you're gonna be in the past, like, and anything stagnated. If we don't
hmm,
follow whatever is happening, we are gonna be behind, and it's not gonna be. Nobody's gonna be happy. So
yeah,
I that you have to really believe in what you love in life. You have to try many, 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 many times. Don't be offended with some criticism. Sometimes we fail. If you're not, it's a lot. Still, a lot of the times I can do a show, an exhibit in a place that is not my niche. So as simple as that, it can break you if you're not really if you don't believe in yourself. You can, you can in the beginning you're gonna be out of business. That's my tip. Whatever you do, if you do with love, just follow your heart, and then just keep on going. Look up and go straight. Now don't
I
look back.
love that. I
Like,
love that. There is this quote that I think it resonates with everything that you said. It says, "Slowly is the fastest way for you to get to where you want to be." Right? So, and
yeah,
having that confidence with you, it is like the number one thing that you need. It is the trust on yourself, no matter where you are, if you're just starting out or if you are just like already a professional artist. If you don't have that confidence, like if you don't believe in yourself, who
oh,
will, right?
exactly. Who will? And also, be kind. Be kind to people. You have to also admire the people that they like your work. As much, it's a
Mm-hmm.
change of energy.
Mm-hmm.
When I when I buy art from other artists, but I always, I'm not buying their art, I'm buying their soul. So it's like an exchange of energy. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
be gentle and friendly and nice with the people that enjoy your work. That's another thing that I think is very important. Appreciate the people that support you, because that in a, in the energy level that helps you and whoever is bringing you to their lives. So that's another thing that we should think about. And every single day I am in the studio. My studio is full of pieces, and I still make and going. It's like Duracell. It's like the Queen Elizabeth. You just keep on going and going. So don't be afraid of having a huge inventory, because it's always the day that the piece that, my last showing in November, thank you for coming, was excellent. I saw a lot of people that I love. I sold two pieces that they were like 28 years old, and two people
What?
for them, and I put there, I didn't say, it's funny, isn't it? And sometimes you make a piece and boom, as soon as I take out of the kiln, it's sold. But some of them, they love to be next to me. I always tell them, it's time to go to find another home. Bye. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. So um, that's how it
Oh,
is.
I can totally resonate, and thank you so much for sharing that. Please write this down, people. Like I always believe that my art is going to find its perfect home. But I, again, like you, when I did the challenge of 61 days of art challenge, it kind of gave me a little bit of anxiety just watching my inventory grow so much faster than the sales. uh, so I love listening that because it is normal, right? And even if you sell out, you always gonna have to be practicing your
Oh,
craft until you master it,
if you
right?
sell out, if I sell, no, hopefully I sell, but it feels empty. They're my babies. I like to be close to them, but not for that long. Or yes, could be for that long. But yeah, I believe in having an inventory. I believe in as much as you can make, just do it. I was thinking about it. I think that through the 30 years, I sold more than 20,000 pieces. Oh, 20,000
Wow.
handmade, like my hand is working very hard, like I don't know who works hard, if it's my mind or my hand. So
Wow. This is so precious.
someone
And
asked, and I was thinking, of course, some years you sell more than the others, but and mine is, I'm counting everything, I'm counting a little card, I'm counting I used to sell magnets, tiles, if I make a mural, like that mural, the Brazilian Mall mural has 900 tiles. So right there was almost
wow.
so counting,
Mm,
I I I think it's around that. It's more than 20,000. So that makes me feel happy. It's like
I
it doesn't.
am.
The money comes and go, but like it's having your signature. Is a purpose in life. What's your purpose? Like my purpose is to make people happy, to make make a special piece for someone special, which is all of you. So that's my goal in life, is to leave my Zebi mark on the earth. That's what it is. Like
That's your legacy.
my legacy, yeah, our legacy. So
I am so blown away by this, and thank you so much for sharing. So listen up, she made over two 20,000 art pieces. Wow, this is like amazing. It just blew my mind so much. So
well,
at the very beginning, did you have like your everything already organized, your files? Did you have that awareness of starting counting and having the inventory towards the very beginning? Because what I see, and from my own experience, like towards the very beginning when I was starting out and it was mostly more of a hobby, I didn't roll anything down. Like, so there are pieces around that I sold that was like not on my inventory because I didn't have any. So, what do you have to say besides recommended everyone to have and start your inventory ASAP? It doesn't matter if you do it only for the hobby or for the sake of it. Having an inventory so we can be like Sandra in 30 years.
or you can be more than me. No, I never count my inventory, I'm just guessing, because I go by year. Like I could, like especially when I sold to catalogs, and when you sell like a dinner set, it's like 50 pieces easy. So I'm guessing. No, I don't count my inventory, because then I would be spending my time just counting. Oh, it's one. Hey, oh no, I forgot to count this one. Let me go back. So then I would be. But I guess that it was. But I'm like I like in each show you sell like 50 pieces, sometimes 100. So if you make 10 shows a year, and if you sell 100, I mean, 30 years, 20 pieces, 20,000,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
pretty much like,
Got it.
no, no, no,
I
don't count.
love it. I
Listen and
love
listen,
that. Just
everybody.
have an idea at least, right? Or just
Yeah,
have the inventory for the specific show. Flavia
yeah.
has a question that I love it. I'd love for you to answer, which is if you remember what was your first art Thank you, Flavio, for your questions, for your
Hey, Flavia,
question.
thank you. I remember it was a little boat that I made when I was maybe 10 years old. I should find that boat. Maybe the boat, like is lost in the space. And painting, and that was like, oh, how beautiful. Let's put inside of the closet now and let it run the rest of our lives. That was, but then my first piece that I think I started, it was fishes. I made, my first one that I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to sell that was a fish, a colorful fish. And I start my ceramics making earrings, uh, tiny pieces, like a lot. I'm counting them too. You see earrings, it's like one, two. Yeah. I started with jewelry, ceramic jewelry. They were very, very small and very graphic. A lot of lines, a lot of symbols, like I like Southwestern symbols, African, I always like this African influence. And
Mm-hmm.
first piece that took off was my Baiana, was my Musa. Okay, if you don't mind, I'm gonna
No,
just,
not at all.
because I have that in my kitchen. That's my first piece that put me on the map.
Wow. Let's see.
Can you see?
Baiana. Yeah, we can see the top of the vase.
Yeah.
Just the top of it. Can you go down a little bit?
Can you?
Yeah,
Oh,
if you can go down a little so you can see the whole thing. Yes. Oh, that is so beautiful. I love it. And then if you go to
yeah.
Sandra's studio, it's in Marina del Rey. I encourage you, if you're in Los Angeles or if you're visiting LA, please go visit Sandra Zebi design studio. And her home is also almost like an extension of her studio. It is incredible. So please make a visit in Marina del Rey at Sandra Zebi studio. So I have another question for you. I think you are one of the most prolific and active artists that I've known. And for 30 years, you keep, like I know you for at least 15. That's how much I know you. Um, how do you keep up with so much energy and to create? You said that you go to your studio every day to create. So how do you keep up at the days that you don't feel like it? What motivates you to just keep going no matter what?
So, number one, listen, all of you that you are at home, drink a little coffee in the morning, and then you're gonna be woohoo, super creative. It's like anything else. The more you do it, the more you make, the more ideas you have, and then you get used to that. And then, it's strange enough, I feel guilty if I don't go to the studio. It's part of,
Mm.
okay. It's like, you haven't been to the studio today. What are you doing with your life? You should go paint and make 20,000 more pieces to sell in the next 20 years. So it's like a lifestyle besides being,
Mm.
Drica, when you I was in Brazil, I just came back yesterday. On my way back, and in Brazil, I bought a little pad, and I was drawing.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting and go like, what am I gonna draw? Like, it's relaxing, it's raining, I'm gonna draw the rain. Oh, and then you start, and it flows and it flows, and you cannot stop.
Mm.
So that's what keeps me going. It's like you put yourself in that situation that you're doing what you love, and you're doing without thinking about anything. I know that a lot of us, we make a living out of that, but first comes the love, and then after is coming the benefits. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
is.
First come the loves and then comes the profit.
Yeah, yeah. And then with the love, it comes all these people, and then they give you the love, and you give back, and it's like a dance. You keep
Yes.
dancing. You cannot stop dancing, because if you stop, you're gonna be lazy. You don't wanna dance anymore, and then, oh, my knee is hurting. oh, I'm tired. No, you have to just do it. Anything that you do, and not just the art, but anything. The more you do it, the better you get, the happier you get, and it flows. It's a
Mm.
flowing. Yeah.
Yes, I love what Roberto Leon said, and I couldn't agree more with him. Thank you so much, Roberto, for put that up. That Sandra Zebi is the most important Brazilian artist in Los Angeles, the most
Oh,
influential, and the incredible, incredible artists and the events that you also do, bringing the Brazilian community of artists together. It is so amazing. So you are amazing, Sandra. And
thank
going back to the flow,
thank you,
I
Bob. Okay, sorry.
thank you, Roberto. Thank you so much for putting that up. I couldn't agree more. And talking about the flow, so you just started out, and it just flows. Like you do what you love for the sake of doing, and then your ideas will just flow. And this is so important because a lot of times when you don't feel like it, all it takes it's 5 minutes for you to start. So
Yes.
if you feel like you don't feel like it, you know, duh, you dragging yourself to the studio, it's probably first because you're having resistance. So trying to figure out why you don't feel like it, right? Because if it is something that you love, if it is something that you will fulfill your creative dreams, let's say, why are you having that resistance that you don't want to go to the studio? So I would recommend first kind of like stay with that and think of why, of the deeper why you are having that resistance. And I have to say, and Sandra, just complimenting what she just said, all it takes is 5 minutes for you to get started. Once you are there, everything else will flow.
For sure. The other thing is like in my case, because it's like three-dimensional, and then I do like paintings, and I do the ceramics, and I do a sculpture. You can do also more than one piece, at once. If I mean, you never get bored, but if in case you're getting bored, start something else. But
Mm-hmm.
just remember that this is you're doing that number one for you, and you're doing that because you love, not like.
Mm.
If you don't have that love inside, just do something different because it's your life. You have to think about how can you live your life the best way possible to live.
Mm-hmm. I love
And
that.
yes, and that's the rule number one. And then it's just a matter of start doing, and then all of a sudden you're so busy that you can, oh my God, I forgot kids. Oh gee, you know how it is. The only thing that I to live that I make time for that besides my beautiful kids, my babies, is the parties. Then I stop doing what I have to do. Oh, is a party going on? Then I close the studio because it's very important. That only time that I'm gonna go and run from the studios for the parties. Besides that, I love to be there.
I
And
love it.
treat
Lit-
yourself with love that the love's gonna come, and then you're gonna show to the others, and then they're gonna feel that. People feel,
yeah,
they feel the vibe.
absolutely. I love that. And Leticia said, inspiration exists, but you need to find your working. Exactly, Leticia. I couldn't agree more. We can all live by this quote. That's exactly what was Sandra was saying. Uh, and you were talking about the parties, which is I find it very interesting, but it is also good to balance your life, right? Between
Oh
fun and work. You
yeah,
need to find that balance.
I was teasing, but it's truth. You have to enjoy your life because then you have, for our creativity. I'm when I like in the beginning of the lockdown, I was like all of us, I was a little scared and down, and I was a little blocked because most of the time that I'm creating my art, I'm happy.
Mm.
Art is very simple, and the idea is to pass, give happiness, show a big smile, or just sending happy feelings. That's what it is. So that's why when I go, I'm. It's not that I'm happy 24/7, but it makes me happy. If I'm not, when I start, I go like, oh, this is, like, what a life. And I'm always grateful. I'm very grateful to do what I love and to make a living with what I love the most. So that's
Wow,
important, to be grateful,
that
even to,
is.
huh? So,
Yes. I think being grateful is one of the number one thing that we all can be, no matter what situation that you are in. And if you feel like you have nothing to be grateful for, you can just be grateful for being alive. You can be
yeah,
general with your life, and you will always find something to be grateful for. This is so, so important. So thank you so much
thank
for
you.
sharing that. And I love it. And what I feel like now listening a little bit more deeper into your art practice, and I feel like finding that fulfillment that you find with your art, it is pretty much the basic need of every single human being. We all here to express ourselves somehow. So we need to find that thing that will make you come alive. And if you haven't found it yet, just try things out. Don't ignore the things that you attract to, because it's usually connected to your purpose, right? I'm pretty sure your ceramic, they didn't just showed up out of the blue. It was something that you were attracted to at first, and then you got curious about it.
Mhm.
So keeping that curiosity, it is so crucial for any area that you're in life. Just keeping that, like almost like a child like mind, that innocence that I'm gonna try just for the sake of trying, just because I want to experience this, no matter what it is.
It is. And also when you are starting, by the way, I just want to say hi to Marie. Marie,
Yes.
she's one of my first collectors. She has a dinner set. She's one of my first sponsors. So
I love it.
you have to, you have to carry that with you, this kind of feeling, because in general in life, and also you have to think positive, because
Mm,
our thoughts, they can turn into reality. And also I believe in the power of the word.
mm,
So the other thing that I always, have to watch, you better watch for what you ask for.
mm. Be
Oh,
careful
oh,
what you wish, it might just
yeah,
happen, right?
yeah. So all this combination, plus always persistency, have to keep on doing and doing and doing again. With ceramics is hard, because in the beginning we lose a lot of pieces, like you make too thin, it breaks. Sometimes we spend like more than an hours to paint one super platter, whatever, and then poof, when you fire, it's gone. So,
Oh my gosh.
oh, I didn't put that in my 20,000 pieces
Oh,
plus
plus
30,000.
all the broken pieces.
No, no, I didn't. I have a whole collection in my backyard of boxes of broken pieces. Yeah, so by then you go like, and what? I'm gonna be in a bad mood. I'm not gonna make any more. I'm gonna make the next one even better than the one that broke. That's how it's not as simple and as easy like what I'm saying, but just do
It's a
it.
mindset,
It's a
right?
mindset. You don't have anything to lose but your time, you
Mm.
know. So that's
It's almost, I see it almost like you're investing your time to something that you care about, to something that the world deserves to see, and is your expression, right? That
yeah,
needs and deserves to be shared.
that's what it is. We are in the same tribe, nah?
Yeah. Flavia has a question for both of us, and I let you go first. When you work, what is your playlist?
Oh,
So,
you. Now I'm gonna, ladies and gentlemen, to KCRW. KCW, is I always like to keep up, not just with the art, but with the music. But Flavio, I love to listen to, and Flavio, the Brazilians and and people that appreciate Brazilian music. I listen to Brazilian music too. My playlist is vast. I don't want to say, because if I mention one, then the other one is going to be, how come you don't listen to me? Listen to a lot of Brazilian music, and I like funk. I like like soul music and disco and classical. Sometimes I really like to listen to classical music. Sometimes give me the peaceful moments.
Yeah.
But I listen a lot to KCW, KPFK with Sergio Mionichenko.
I
We
love it.
support the Brazilian community. Yeah? So
Yes,
Sergio
absolutely.
playlist, like the music that he plays, like today he was playing Nada Leão, which I love it, Bossa Nova,
I
and
love it.
local musicians, Ana Gazola, Sonia Santos, it's a mix. It's a mix of a lot of, né?
Good
And
musicians out there. I love that.
oh, that's the other thing. When I work with music. When I'm working, the first thing that I do in my studio is turn on the radio or Pandora. So that's for me. I don't know about you, Drica, but I makes me
That
move.
is that is something very interesting that I don't listen at all to
Yeah.
anything.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I I always have my earplugs because my studio is in my garage, so it's very noisy
Mm.
because of the cars coming by. I am on Hermosa Avenue, so it's always like cars. So I always have my earplugs, but I'm usually in silence. I love to
Oh,
just listen to the whispers.
I
I
like
just
that.
love to listen to whatever it comes, and that's what gets me in flow. And when I have like important deadline, specifically, I have to be in silence alone. And usually I'll shut the garage door because I know I am gonna be in the zone. And when it's like towards the end of the project that I'm happy with it, I'll put some Brazilian music on it.
Really?
Or
Oh,
sometimes it's hard for me to get started, so I will definitely put like a classical music just to get into the flow, and then I'll turn off everything, and then most of the time I have nothing. When I have like something that it doesn't really require so much of concentration, I listen to podcasts usually about neuroscience because I love learning about our minds and how our brain works, or something that it just get me curious about it. Sometimes I'll go all in, sometimes I just ignore, but I usually don't have anything to listen to.
yeah.
Uh,
I like
yeah.
that. Once in a while, silence, but most of the time I have music on.
Yeah,
And
I think it's not right or wrong. We just need to find something that
oh,
works for
have,
you.
each one have, that's what makes us special. Each one of us, we
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
ways.
just try it out. What makes you come alive, and also you need to understand what kind of mindset that work specific is requiring you. Like if you need to focus more, or if you need to get like a little bit fast move. So
Mhm.
see what kind of project that you're working on and see what works best
Yeah,
for you. For
ex-
me, I'm always a fan of silence, even at home. Sometimes when I cook, that I know it's like for me, it's like cooking is like almost like a leisure for me. I love cooking and I like to experience. Sometimes I don't really try anything much different, but then that's when I put like a music, or it's like I'm finishing up, I'm signing the project, and I'm usually very excited with the results. So then I will put some music. It is usually popular Brazilian music, like
yeah.
MPB, that old style. Yeah, it can never get old.
Now, I know one of my favorite shows is Marisa Monte. I really like.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
I have I created some playlists in my Spotify. If you guys want to follow, I have my Brazilian playlist, my studio playlist. It's usually full of classical music or like some instrumentals that will get me into the flow. So check it out on Spotify, Drica Lobo Art, Drica Lobo and Art, and then you can find some of the things that I like to listen in the studio.
Good. It's a good tip. You know, why not?
Sandra, I have a few more questions for you. We're gonna be almost 1 hour here. I can believe it. If you guys have any questions, we still have a few minutes here. So please have your questions ready. But for now, Sandra, I would love for you to give, if you do have it, out of this 30 years, what did you have to overcome? There's anything in particular that you had to really overcome to keep creating and doing the work that you do, to keep finding that flow? What was the major thing that come up to mind that you really had to overcome?
You know, the money, you know, like the financial, because we, you know, it's always a pressure, especially
Mm,
when, especially when my kids were little, you know, we have that, you know, we have to. Um, I did a lot of wholesale shows for galleries and gift stores, and sometimes when it doesn't go that well, because we invest, you know, like in order to make, you have to invest.
mm,
It was hard, you know, because you have to. It's anxiety, you know, and then you cannot show
mm-hmm.
public because you know, some artists they show, which is not good. People, oh my God, if you want to buy, you know, it's like so you have to overcome that. That necessity, that urge to make the money, you know, like
Mm,
come, it will come for sure. It will come because it all because like when you are artists, when you are creative people, we are always dealing with our soul, with our energy, with things that we don't touch, we don't see. And if you be
mm-hmm.
faith, you know, like we have
Mm,
in God and we have the faith in our God. So
mm,
should always remember that when these feelings that you know, try to buff any negative feelings or thoughts. And, you know, like we used to play when we did, when sometimes the shows that we do, the art shows, they suck. You know, it's not nothing to do with us. The promoters, they don't bring anybody. And then we
mm-hmm.
talk to each other and say, oh my God, 2 more shows like that. And we are going to go to 9 to 5. And then was like, no, no, not 9 to 5. That is overcome. I prefer to work 12 to 12 p.m. and or vice versa, 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. But no, not 9 to 5. I can't. Not for me. What did I do wrong? Oh, so yeah, I think that was that
The
yeah,
biggest challenge.
the biggest challenge for me. That it has to come in that moment. So this is not, you know. Luckily, it's
And
not my
then
case.
yeah, this is so great because I think that is something like when it comes to money talk, we are so afraid to share
Hmm?
our experience to it that I think it's so important to talk about it and to
Sure.
open up because everybody has some sort of
Yeah.
struggle or something towards the negative that is related to money. And like you were saying, like money, I also believe that it's like a mindset, and you need to release that fear of the lack in order to open space for the money to come.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's exactly what Sandra was saying. It's like you do need to release that fear. And what if you are just starting out, don't be afraid of having a part-time job, something that will take the pressure out of your creativity. That's like your soul. So don't be afraid. Like before I become a full-time artist, that was just like 3 years ago. I worked in the restaurant business for so many years, and I'm just so grateful for being able to be there. Like it doesn't matter if it was 2 nights or 2 days I was bartending, and I didn't care because I knew that it would pay off for me while I was building my business underneath. So I didn't have the pressure to create. So don't feel that you are less artist because you do have to keep a part-time job or a full-time job. It doesn't matter. Like being an artist, it doesn't matter like how long do you have to be an artist, as long as you are devoted to your craft in a daily basis, or at least
Exactly.
most
Yeah.
of the time that you have a free time, right?
Yeah. It is, and it's a blessing, it's a curse. But
Mm-hmm.
so the fact that we need the money to keep us going like everybody else, it helps. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you don't need it, then what's the motivation? If,
Yeah.
in other words, use the arts as a venue for you to make a living.
Mm-hmm.
But oh no, if I sell, I sell. If I not even sell, if I make it, it doesn't matter if I don't. Even if it's to give away, like your works,
Mm-hmm.
just don't give excuses. I don't need, like yes, we do need for ourselves. It's
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is. If you don't do it for anybody else, do it for yourself. That's what
Yes.
it is. First for yourself, and then for whoever. No.
Yes, I love that. And like Sandra, you're pretty good at that. Maybe this can be one of our last topics that we can talk about. It's creating different incomes for yourself with your
Mm-hmm.
art. So you can create art prints, you can do like become a multimedia and learn different like illustration, or teach an art class. There's so many things that you can do to take the pressure off just of selling the art itself,
Oh
that
yeah,
you just have to really like see what will fit your schedule and your lifestyle, what are the things that will bring you most joy, and just try and do that. Find
exactly.
different outlets to sell your art. Don't think that you are alone on this, because you're never alone on this. Find help, even if it's just those uh immense number of websites that sell art for you. Even if they take a percentage, don't be
Oh,
afraid of that, because they're doing
yeah.
their part too, right?
Yeah. Then in these 20 plus thousand pieces, I lost a lot of pieces to galleries and stores. I did a lot of on consignment, and they sometimes they close it and they don't give back your work, or sometimes they don't pay you, and all this shouldn't stop you of believing yourself and keep on making. And also like you said, once you have the image that you like and you see that they're more commercial, more popular,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
applying anything. You can apply in a pillow, like if you drink, you can apply in a
Yeah.
cards. People love. Sometimes they cannot afford your painting, but they can afford a greeting card. Why
Yeah.
image and not? Oh, I'm not. If I don't sell for 10,000, I wouldn't. No, it's prints. It's like rings. For a while I was making rings.
Mugs,
Uh,
anything. Yeah.
anything. You can just to
Can,
spread your love to the world. That's what.
yes, yes, and find those new ways, like create
Yeah.
a collection, put it out, and see which one was the most popular, and you can still profit with one piece of art. You can put it
Yes.
anywhere and sell it, right? You can still
Exactly.
profit.
Yeah, especially today with the internet, if you can sell more than 20,000 in 1 year. If we
Yeah.
have to also work with our brain, not just our body. No?
Mm-hmm.
That's
And also listen to what you need to do and what you want to do, not what everybody else is doing. This can get us stuck in the fear based mode, and I don't recommend it. So always listen to your gut first.
Mhm.
Your instinct is usually stronger than your force, and trying to look ahead of your own life instead of looking sideways
Oh,
to whatever everybody else is doing, because this is definitely not helpful, especially and with social media, that it's so easy to get caught up on what other people are doing,
oh
and
yeah.
that you almost want to try everything, and then you just get like paralyzed and then you don't do anything. So
Yeah, no. And the other thing that is very important as a human being and as a creative people is to donate some of your time. You know, like I was, it's about 3 years that I did that, volunteering to teach workshops for older people, low income, you know, they have
Mm,
or for kids in school, you know, like it's or even talk to other people. You know, you can do the
mm-hmm,
when other artists ask you for a tip, just give the tip.
mm-hmm.
Help
Don't
others.
be
Is
afraid to share, right?
selfish, huh?
Yeah,
So the more you share, the more you're gonna have to share. The more
yeah.
you're gonna come
To receive.
you're gonna be, you have to give, you have to give in order to receive, and that
Yes.
is
This is
everything,
a
you know.
law. This is
Yeah, this,
law. This is law of cause and effect.
yes,
Yep.
covenant. And you use that to the art. You apply that to the arts for sure. Huh?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. Leticia said, I need to make prints. Yes, Leticia, there's so many websites that can do prints for you, or you can
Yeah.
also look in your neighborhood and find a local printer. I
Oh,
I love working with a local printer because I have the control of the quality and I'm able to sign. But there's so many websites that offer
ex-
for a low budget. You don't even have to pay in advance right now if you choose like websites like Printful. You just have to pay the percentage after the sale is made. So it's pretty easy on today's. When I was starting out, remember Sandra, when my
gosh.
first when I had my very first art fair here in Hermosa Beach, and then I had no idea what I was doing. It was Sandra, what do I do? So you took me to a local printer to get all my prints done there. So
Yeah.
ask for help, right? We are all here. When you're all able, you
Hmm.
always find somebody that are able to help you.
If you need anything, just ask Drica, okay? I don't.
No.
Drica will. Just go on Google. You know, I found a super great Giclée printer, like 2 blocks from my house. I Google what's the uh, best place is Art Print. If you are in the Marina del Rey, Venice, Mar Vista area,
Yeah,
Art Print is the best for the Giclées, and but any printer close to you would do it. Now they have
yeah,
great technology for, you know, the
yeah.
quality. They don't fade like in the past, you know.
Yes.
So just
There's
go for
so
it. No
go
excuse.
for it.
Home. Just use that.
Sandra, this is so amazing. This is so inspiring. I have one last thing that I would love for you to share for what are your next projects for 2022 and what is the best place for people to find you, find your work. Please tell us everything.
My next project, I was talking to the Mr. Flavio that he was asking about the music. Is for the NFTs, you know, like to finally don't procrastinating like sometimes we do. And also, I'm going to be in April. We change. It's going to be a Pan African Film Festival. Was going to be in February, but it's going to be in April. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's my next one is the NFT. I
I
believe I
love it.
that, and I think I believe that I believe in public art because you can show your art to different people, and I think that the NFT is in the same way, in a different version, but it's like public art. You have
Mm,
access to the world. So that's my
yeah,
next. And
I
thanks
love that.
for the last live that you had last Friday. It was very inspiring. A lot of good information. Thank you, Drika. With Ale,
Thank you
Paul, with Paul.
with Paul Rostan. Yes,
Yes.
thank you guys so much. And yes, that Cola Girl, I think I'm saying right. Yes, this recorded and all of the other 25 episodes of Friday Flow, they all under IGTV in my profile. This one it will definitely be recorded so we can watch it later. Sandra, where's the best place for people to find
Oh,
you, to connect with you?
my site, zebidesigns.com. You can
Mm-hmm.
always find my work. on Instagram at Sandra Zebi. I post a lot of videos, what I'm making, what's the newest. And on my site and on my Instagram, you can always come to my studio. I am in Marina del Rey, Beach Avenue, 13373. But I would say Instagram is the best. Instagram and zebidesigns.com. And now, soon is going to be my NFTs. So
Yes, I cannot wait.
Me neither.
Thank you. So
Thank you.
I'm so grateful to have you here to share all of your knowledge and all your beautiful tips. If you did miss this live, you can watch the recorder. Make sure that you have notes because there's some really amazing tips that you can start practicing today, all about mindset and how to make the best as an artist in 2022. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sandra, from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you, your time, and all of you guys who ask your questions and who've been here. Mwah. Thank you.
Thank you. Mwah.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.